August 1945. The guns fell silent, the cities lay in ruins, and the Japanese empire, once feared and vast, was no more. But out of devastation came something extraordinary. This is the story of how Japan, humiliated and broken, transformed into an economic superpower in just a few decades. From scorched earth to skyscrapers, from defeat to rebirth, this is Japan's post-war miracle. Japan was placed under Allied occupation led by General Douglas MacArthur. His mission wasn't just disarmament, it was total reconstruction. Under the Supreme Commander for the Allied Powers, SCAP, sweeping reforms reshaped the country. A new constitution came into effect in 1947. The emperor became a symbolic figure, not a divine ruler. Article 9 renounced war forever. Land reform dismantled the power of rich landlords and gave property to tenant farmers. Women received the right to vote. Trade unions were legalized. The old zaibatsu industrial monopolies were broken up. The goal was simple but radical: turn Japan into a peaceful, democratic, and modern society. But as the Cold War heated up, American priorities shifted. Japan went from a defeated enemy to a crucial ally in Asia. The U.S. needed a stable, anti-communist partner. The Korean War, 1950-1953, became an unexpected catalyst. Japan became a vital supply base for U.S. forces. Factories reopened, jobs were created, and industrial momentum returns. The U.S. also offered generous aid and allowed Japan to focus entirely on economic development, while America guaranteed its military protection. With political stability and external support, Japan began building the foundations of its future economic miracle. From the 1950s to the 1980s, Japan's economy grew at astonishing rates, sometimes over 10% a year. By the 1960s, it had become the third largest economy in the world. This was driven by a combination of factors: government-business cooperation, investment in education, high personal savings, export-driven policies, and technological innovation. Japan became synonymous with quality and efficiency. Brands like Toyota, Sony, Panasonic, and Honda became global icons. In 1964, Tokyo hosted the Summer Olympics, a symbolic return to the global stage. The debut of the Shinkansen bullet train amazed the world and showed that Japan was no longer recovering, it was leading. But growth came with costs. Long working hours, social pressure, rising inequality, and political scandals challenged the ideal. Protests erupted over the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty in 1960. Still, Japan balanced modernity with tradition. Its unique culture, from samurai films to manga, began to influence the world. By the 1980s, Japanese art, fashion, and technology were everywhere. Economic power turned into cultural influence. Japan had done what few nations ever managed: to rise from the ashes, not just as a country that survived, but one that thrived. By the end of the 1980s, Japan stood as a peaceful, prosperous democracy, a stark contrast to the militarist empire it once was. Its story is not just one of recovery, but of transformation, a tale of resilience, reinvention, and renewal. In the aftermath of war, Japan made a choice, not to look backward in anger, but forward in hope, and that made all the difference.